Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ivy Wong from Divisions of Program Promotions and also the moderator for today's webinar. Welcome to join this afternoon's webinar. Glad to see you all now. For your information, this webinar will live and Facebook page prepare for you. If you have friends, please join us and visit our Facebook page prepare for you. Today's webinar will have topic sharing and Q&A sections. If you have any questions, please paste at the chat box. Due to time constraints, we may not answer all the questions. Today our topic is Eat Wisely, an excellent way of life transformation. Before we start, let me introduce our speaker, Mr. Tim. Mr. Steve is Newtown Senior Lecturer for Faculty of Science, Department of Agricultural and Food Science. He obtained his Bachelor's of Food Science and Technology, major Food Technology and Bioprocessing, and Master of Science, major in Biotechnology at University Malaysia Sabah. The area of expertise for Mr. Steve are food bioprocess, food fermentation, food microbiology, and post-harvest handling on agricultural products. Besides that, Mr. Steve also a certified endocrine health advisor, HTV Living Select Invited guest speaker, and also founder of Young Wellness Enterprise. Without any further delay, let's welcome today's speaker, Mr. Steve.
Hi, thanks, Ivy and Sam. Very good evening to all participants. Okay, so I'm Sachin. So I feel great pleasure to share with you guys some important tips on this lovely evening. Okay, so let me share with you my slide first. Okay, so I think the timing period is just around the corner. Okay, and it is a time for us to enjoy the reunion with our friends. So people will ask, throughout this festive season, um, should we eat accordingly or should we eat wisely? So the key question is, we should eat wisely because why? Um, I would say this is a big training for us to train ourselves in the very beginning of the year. So Chinese New Year shouldn't be an excuse for us to to eat over than what we should have. Okay, so I think it is our Just to remember, you guys, moderate is the key.
Okay, how would you feel, okay, if you overeat with all those kinds of Chinese New Year delicacies as well as cookies or those like the bakwan, okay, and etc. Okay, I think my personal experience was I will feel very tired, okay, feel fatigued, okay, and I feel my whole body very heavy, just don't like to move and then just want to watch the TV, okay, and then keep on craving for these kinds of cookies and all those things, okay, and some of you might even face like indigestions. Okay, you feel bloated. Okay, you feel, I mean, your stomach feel not very well lah. Okay, after all, you took too many of these cookies and those Chinese New Year meals. You just imagine that you ate the steamboat from the day one until day nine of the Chinese New Year. Yes, in my families, we did so, okay, from the day one until day nine. So therefore, I feel like indigestions and feel very heavy for my body. Okay, so I will ask you guys, some of you may face this kinds of so-called post-Chinese New Year effects, like indigestions, okay, bloated, okay, heavy bodies, and some of you even might feel sick or fever, okay. So the question is this just the end, or is this just the beginning of the post-Chinese New Year effect? If you say this post-Chinese New Year effect just lasted for like 2 3 days, then it is fine. Congratulations to you, okay? Because you actually eat accordingly to the portions that's allowed, okay? However, if you say that this post-Chinese New Year effects just begin and is continued, okay, to happen, that means something has gone wrong and you have to take precautions on that, which I will share with you guys some information that you should know. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier, there are some post-Chinese New Year effects, okay, which just begins, okay, and it is actually related to overeat and to eat the wrong foods. Okay, just imagine you overfeed yourself with the wrong food. What will happen? Okay, just for your information, there are 1 billion of people that are hungry around the world, but there are 2 billion of people eating wrongly. Okay, and I think in Malaysia context, we don't have undernourished. Okay, undernourished. I mean, this percentage may be quite small, but we do have a big percentage of overnourished. I mean, overnutrition. I mean, it's more than supposed. Okay, and some studies has proved that there are people, okay, have all these kinds of unhealthy eating habits, um, face some health issues which lead to early death, okay, up to 11 million people a year. So this one clearly indicated that actually we are having some kinds of these eating disorders, okay, which should be rectified, okay, before it's getting worsened. Okay, the following slide that I share with you guys are some statistics that I collected recently, okay, just to like highlight to you guys what is currently happens in our country, okay, like this one, according to the AIA Vitality Survey, about 90% of the employees do not eat a balanced diet. I think you guys will agree more than enough. Okay, and 42% of the employees are overweight and obese. Okay, and 32 of them have at least one or more chronic conditions. Okay, like kidney conditions, are high blood pressures, okay, heart disease, stroke, and etc. And 17% are tired and fatigued every day. Okay, so if you look at these statistics, it's actually telling you this incident, okay, this scenario is actually related to eating habits, okay, because the statistics, the survey have actually indirectly tell you that 90% of the employees do not have a balanced diet, okay. So another statistics extracted from the NSTP, okay, quite some time ago, okay, and our ex-health minister, Dr. Zulkifli, says the rates of NCDs in Malaysia are varying, okay. So these are the three common NCDs that happen in Malaysia, like smoking problems, okay, obesity, as well as the rise of blood pressures. But ladies and gentlemen, if you see this graph carefully, you will notice that only obesity, the projected rates, okay, the projected populations of people having obesities are as compared to like smoking and the raising of blood pressures. So why this happens? Okay, maybe this one should lead to you guys to think of why these incidents will happen. Okay, so this statistics again was abstracted quite near to us. Okay, quite some time from now, at least half a year. Perhaps this is the statistics that's shown by the newspaper after the MCO ended, okay, around the June, okay. It says that there are about 29.8% of children aged 5 to 17 were overweight and obese, okay. I think we are well aware that Malaysia is one of the fattest countries in Southeast Asia. This one, we already become the champion for some time. Okay, but now even our children which age within these 5 to 17 are classified as obese or overweight. Okay, so it is quite ironic that for Malaysians, okay, for Malaysia, who claims as one of the best healthcare company, healthcare countries around these regions. That means something has gone wrong. Okay, something has gone wrong on that, and we must do something before these statistics keep on raising, because this one involve our younger generations, which is 5 to 17, which will become the adult people in the next 10 to 20 years. Okay, so my humble opinion is like, are we on the right track? If you say, as a developing countries, which is so well in healthcare providers, so are we on the right track? If we are in the right track and doing the right things, suppose the obesity rates, okay, of nations are not that spike, okay? Because nowadays we are focusing more on which types of superfoods to eat and what are their nutritional values, okay? If you can see lots of articles, okay, saying that this food is good because it contains high in A, B, C, D, E, okay, and then next month onwards, there is another article coming out saying that this food also contains high in C, D, E, F, G. So therefore, these expert guidelines actually created a noise to consumers because it seems like almost everything are good. So which one I should take? So consumer feel blur on that. Okay, I do not know what should I do. Okay, so I just blindly follow which is correct, then I just follow blindly. Okay, this is a current scenario, but seldom we put efforts, okay, to unpack these important messages such as the wholesomeness of the foods. Okay, we even seldom discuss about whether the diets is sustainable or not. Okay, and we also seldom disclose on the insulin resistance on our younger generations. Okay, and we also seldom disclose on the metabolic disorders that's faced by most of the younger generations. And of course, we seldom heard about how to instill a good habits, especially in good eating habits, okay, in our daily life. So I think these are the parts that we should focus on rather than we focus on which types of the superfood we should take, okay, and what are their nutritional value, how many calories we should take, okay. So as we know, to overcome the current scenario, okay, of the increase of the obesity rate in the country, I think something has to be done. Okay, a new approach should be implemented in order to get a new result because only new approach can lead you to a new result. Okay, so this one actually do not involve any new science. Okay, no cutting edge of the technology. Okay, even it is not a fat diet. Okay, so what we do is like we promote simplicity in your diet, okay, in your eating habits, which you just rely on the real foods. And of course, the change of the mindset, okay, how you change your mindset, okay, by eating simple, okay, the real and the right foods, okay, 1% of good habits that to be instilled in your daily life. And of course, we perform some fasting approach, okay, in your daily life, in your diet. Okay, so eating habits, which you just rely on the real foods. And of course, the change of the mindset, okay, both, okay, the real and the right foods, okay, 1% of good habits that to be instilled in your daily life, and of course, we perform some fasting approach, okay, in your daily life, in your diet. Okay, so eating habits, which just rely on the real
我电话的问题。If you work in a team, you should be using Monday.com. It's a platform to manage any team and it. 从让心难开始，总是让人心烦，忘了害怕是什么样子。想抵达的时针，永远不会停止。
just take some only will do, okay, but not frequently because once you eat frequently, you have the kinds of habits to continuously eat that delicacy or that snacks, okay, unconsciously, okay, and of course, we also encourage you to take wholesome foods, okay, which means it's a real food, okay, it's not a processed food, okay. So secondly, we also encourage you to take a balanced PE meals, okay, protein energy ratios of meal. So what is this PE meal so important? Okay, why this PE meal so important? Because high PE meal, protein energy ratios foods, usually we give you sense of the feelings of satiations, okay, and these high PE foods usually are the animals or the plant proteins, okay? And of course, this high PE meal will let you feel full all the while, okay? So again, it's about moderate. You shouldn't take more than that, okay? And another important point is like this high PE meal, okay, also will help you to stabilize your blood sugar, okay, in the long run, okay, and you will not easily trapped in the blood glucose issue, and eventually it won't lead you to pre-diabetes situations. Okay, if you take a lot of low PE meal or the low density meal, okay, you will easily get trapped, okay, in the high blood glucose levels, as well as touch wood to say, maybe somehow one day you might face the pre-diabetes syndromes, okay, as what most of the young children are facing now, okay. And then the third options, okay, the third trick is like you should have a healthy plate, so okay. This healthy plate is just follow the suku sparrow, okay, promoted by the KKMs, okay, our Kementerian Kesehatan Malaysia, whereby you should make sure that when you have your meal, you have to take it in a balanced portions, okay, and it's a complete meal. So balanced portion means you will have protein, you will have fat, you will have fibers, vegetables, fruits, as well as water in a specific portion. Okay, so therefore it say it's a suku sparrow. The portions that you take usually is just a one small portion. If you can divide your plates. So people will ask, if I want to eat healthily and I want to reduce my weight, okay, or to maintain my body shape, what should I do? First, have to take it balanced meal, okay, balanced portions, and there is one tips, you should take a smaller plate. Okay, so this is how you can eat healthily, and in the same time you can reduce the weight. Okay, and then the last one will be do the fasting. Okay, so fasting, I think some of you guys are quite familiar on this. Okay, and these fastings actually have been performed by some of the religious, okay, and some of the cultures for some time, okay, for hundreds or thousands years ago, okay. And one of the closest examples are our Muslim friends who perform 1 month dry fasting before their Hari Raya, okay. So there are so many benefits that we can obtain from doing the fasting, okay, because it is a true way to unleash the powers of autophagy, okay, in our body. So you will ask, hey, what is autophagy? Allow me to share with you in the next slides. So autophagy actually, in the medical terms, means the self-eating process. Okay, means your cell after some times they have to um, they have to cleanse away, okay, and then to to be removed, okay, and to build a new cell, okay. So this one actually related to cell renewals on our body system, because in our body system, the smallest unit is the cell. As long as your cell is healthy enough, it actually will determine your overall health status. Okay, so fasting actually act as a tool to rejuvenations. Okay, so there are some evidence telling you fasting is actually can promote some health benefits. Okay, so the common one is like reduce inflammations, okay, and of course improve the brain memory. And other than that, fasting also increase the body lipolysis or the fat burning process. Who want to perform some slimming activities. Okay, so I think fasting is the best way to cut off your weight. Okay, and of course, fasting. There are some articles showing you fasting can reduce your blood pressure and improve your heart your heart health. Okay. So the takeaway message from this presentation is like you should inculcate a 1% of good habits, okay, into your daily eating, okay, and you just imagine every day you improve 1%. After a year, it is not 365%. It is about n%. Okay, exponential n% means if you can improve 1% every day in your diet, you are actually you get an enormous of opportunities, okay, to stay healthily in the near futures. Okay, so I just share with you some examples, okay, and some experience where I learned all these healthy eatings from Master Ouyang Ying, okay, who is a very famous healthcare tutors, okay, in the Asia region, who perform these healthy eatings and fasting for the last 30 to 40 years. And he helped a lot of people to overcome their health issues by performing these healthy eating as well as fasting procedures. So I myself has experienced it and I learned from Master Ouyang Ying, and I feel this is a great knowledge that should be inherited from one generation to another. Therefore, it is my passion to always share with you guys on this healthy eating message. Okay. So on top of that, me and my team also always perform some awareness campaigns, okay, and sharing sessions to the public on these healthy eating related topics, okay, because we are very passionate to share with you guys on how to eat healthily, okay, and how to integrate these good habits in your daily life, okay. So just another message is that sometimes healthier doesn't always mean healthy, okay? And we are intelligent enough, but somehow we are not wise enough, especially dealing with diet, okay? We can get a lot of information, okay, easily, okay, on how to eat healthily, but somehow we are not wise enough to make the decisions, okay, to apply them in our daily life. So I do very hope today's sessions will give you some idea, okay, on how to eat healthily, especially in this Chinese New Year. And of course, we do hope to hear from you soon, okay, in the next future, maybe in other platforms, okay. So perhaps you can follow us and drop us some message. Okay, if you got any doubts, okay, we are willing to share with you guys and to share you more on this healthy eating as well as fasting. So I believe, especially fasting, a lot of people are really interested to know more on this. So we do hope you guys will drop us some message if you really want to know more. Okay, so I think my session has done, and I think I pass the slide to you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sim, for the sharing. We now come to Q&A section. If you have any question, please click the chat box button and paste your questions. participant, kindly fill in the evaluation form that I paste the link in the chat box. This evaluation form is used to improve our future webinars. Hi, Mr. Sim.
Hi,
I
Amy.
do have some questions with you.
Yeah, sure.
During Chinese New Year, actually many people will easily eat more. How can we control ourselves and have a balanced diet?
Okay, thanks, Ivy. So I think it is our habit. It's our habit to eat more during Chinese New Year. Okay, so because we always think that just once a while, okay, just once a year, we have the chance to eat during Chinese New Year. Okay, so the important thing is we should have these kinds of like awareness, saying that at least I try this delicacy, I try this cookie with adequate portions, then feel enough. Okay, so I think this is the only way we can control ourselves, okay? Because there are some people who are not aware on this. They say, hey, because New Year, so I can eat whatever things I want, okay? Um, so that means also no awareness, okay? So what I say is, we at least must have this kind of awareness and just imagine, just think that what if I overeat? How should my body feel? I feel very lazy. I feel very tired. Okay, and then I feel like indigestion. So if you can relate to all these kinds of feeling, you will actually try not to overeat, and you will try to control.
Okay. There's a question from Tan Waikel. He asking that how do we control the usage of carbonated drinks?
Okay, hi, Raquel, thank you. So, regards the carbonated drink, actually we can prepare our own beverage in our house to replace these carbonated drinks. I give you one example. I think most of us will buy one carton of glass, okay, or the chrysanthemum tea. Okay, um, we actually can prepare the make uh, chrysanthemum tea, or any green tea we make ourselves, or we make our own lemon juice to replace all these carbonated drinks. And we can serve it to our relative or friends who visited us.
Okay. Mr. Sim, just now from the slide, you mentioned that let's meet save ourselves and save the earth. And then, however, we know that meat provides protein, especially for kids. Is there any substitute for animal protein for growing kids?
Yeah, I will definitely, because um, I mean this is not vegetarian, it's not non-vegetarian diet. I mean, we some of us we still keep the meat, right, as a protein source.
Yeah.
Okay, but in fact, if we can cut down the meat intake, we are actually reduce down the carbon footprint. But in the same time, as you mentioned, that protein, one of the examples you mentioned that young children's meat, I mean the children meat, we can actually replace them by plant protein. Okay, examples like taking soybean, okay, taking some vegetables or some grain or nuts that high in protein. And at the same time, the children also need some essential fats. for brain development. So I would say we no need to rely heavily on animal protein, but in fact we can replace them with plant protein, which is which have essential proteins as well as fat comparable to animal fat.
Okay. Uh, any question from the participant, you can place at the chat box so that our speaker can answer you.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Singh. This is Vikram. And you thought I was right. I have a question. People also have the tendency to drink a lot of beer during Chinese New Year for every occasion.
Yes.
So how do we actually control, not to say discourage, or control alcoholic drinks, especially during Chinese New Year period? Thanks.
Okay, Miguel, it's a good question because some of us prefer to drink alcoholic drinks during this Chinese New Year because of the drinks taste so nice. I mean, in terms of their alcoholic content, the sweetness of the beverage is so nice. So what we can do is just like to prepare another drinks which mimic to the alcoholic drinks, like maybe the sparkling juice, okay, the sparkling juice, okay, or the mojito, which is almost mimic to the taste of the alcoholic drinks. But of course, the best way is to drink other beverage which is low in sugar or definitely don't have any alcoholic contents. Okay, maybe this is what we can do. I'm not saying that to discourage them, but maybe we replace something which mimic to the alcoholic beverages like the beer, all those things.
Just now from the slide, that one slide showing that there has been a marked increase in the average of national weight, especially from children to teenagers. How do we prevent the obesity?
Actually, this is quite a serious problem, and this one happens in Malaysia. So there are many factors that actually contributed to this scenario. Okay, I mean from the diet side, okay, from the genetic side, and then from whether the students have enough physical activities or not. So actually there are many factors. But what we can do, I mean, from the diet side, we should actually encourage our parents to prepare the wholesome food to their children. I mean, less processed food, but real food. So you just cook whatever food that your children like, to replace those processed food like the sausages, okay, and those like crackers, okay, and of course those beverage, those canned beverage. So from the diet side, we can do it in this way.
Okay. Actually, from the slide, last slide, you mentioned that the fasting. Okay. Actually, how fasting improve one health, and that is suitable for everyone to go for fasting?
Okay, I mean, there are actually quite numbers of fasting procedures. Okay, I mean, that exists, okay, like the intermittent fasting, the 16-8 fasting, the one meal a day, and etc., or the extended fasting. Okay, so I would say the fasting is not actually suitable to everyone unless you really understand them, you study, I mean, with adequate information or knowledge on that or on that fasting procedures, and only therefore you can perform it. Okay, and not everyone suitable, especially for those who are pregnant, who are having heavy diseases, okay, and of course to children below 12 years old. So these are the categories of people we usually do not advise or suggest them to perform fasting. Okay, so we will like check first, we will like do some analysis first, and why this people want to do fasting? Is it due to some health problems, okay, like indigestions, or they are having gastric problems, or they are actually overweight, or they are facing some PCOS, okay, or some menstrual issues, or some obesity, pre-diabetic issues, okay. So we will study first, and then we come up with recommendations and guidance for them to perform this fasting protocol, okay.
Joseph Ling, you can on your voice. You need to for the slide Joseph Ling, or you want to which information you want to know more, Joseph? Mr. Singh, it's possible to go back for the fasting slide. Joseph
Okay.
Ling is interested in.
I will share again.
Hold on, Joseph.
Is it this one?
I think should be lah. He said slide 13.
Okay.
Mr. Singh, can you tell more about on this? I think Joseph will miss out this part.
Okay. Just now I mentioned fasting. Okay. Fasting like one of the approach to improve our health, right? So fasting actually it acts as a tool to rejuvenation, especially when our body cells die off to build or to create a new cell. So this is the self-eating process where the old cells will be replaced by the new cells. So this one happens automatically in our body through this so-called autophagy process. Okay, and how autophagy will happen? It is only through fasting when we do not eat for some time. I mean, because people will misunderstand that. Am I starving myself? No. If you perform fasting, you are actually allow yourself not to consume any solid food for some times, and you willingly, okay, you willingly to allow yourself to abstain from food for some time, say for instance 12 hours, 24 hours, or 36 hours, okay, or the longest maybe 2 days, okay, but you still drink. So this one is totally different from starving, okay. So fasting is a you temporarily abstain from food for some times in order to let your body start the autophagy process so that the old cell will be replaced by the new cells. And this process usually will leverage our health conditions. Okay, and the benefit is just like the following slide that I mentioned to you, with the reduce of inflammations, okay, with a sharpened minds, okay, and reduce blood glucose levels, okay, and of course, to put off some weight. So these are the general benefits you can get if you perform this fasting correctly. Okay, so the keyword is fasting is you temporarily abstain from foods for some time. It is totally different from starvation where you totally don't eat or don't drink for certain periods of times. Okay, but fasting, you willing. Okay, you say, hey, maybe 12 hours, 24 hours, I just don't consume, but I still drink drinks. I still drink beverage, okay, with some amounts of calorie which will sustain my daily life. Okay, so perhaps I answer your questions. Hi, Irene.
Any question from other participants?
Okay, I will see.
If no other questions, we will end our webinars here. Last but not least, today's webinars will be recorded at our official Facebook page, Utah for You, or you can log to Utah for You to view back the past webinars. For further inquiry, you may contact us through WeChat, WhatsApp, and Facebook. Thank you for joining us today and have a nice day.